Hey everyone, I'm TH Pine and welcome to Quadrilateral Cowboy. What is Quadrilateral Cowboy, you ask? I like to call it a Retro-Cyberpunk first-person hacking time attack game. It's available on Steam and this is what it looks like. So this is our underground base because we're some kind of rebel hackers or something along those lines. Well, more mercenaries really. We're doing jobs, illegal jobs for money. And well, the game is not actually about doing those jobs, but about planning them, because we have this fancy high-tech VR machine over here, which helps us simulate the job in order to plan it, but you will never see the execution, you just do the planning. So what we do is, we enter our virtual reality here, and, well, welcome to this really high-tech virtual reality, I guess, about, well, a heist, basically. So, every mission consists of 3 jobs, and all the three jobs will be on the same map, but with different objectives. So this is the first job of this mission, which involves going to that card and stealing something from there. So we go down here and press the lever to get us over there. So the aesthetic and the art style and the theme of the game is really, really amazing. I like old school sci-fi and old school cyberpunk. It's a thing I dig, really. Unfortunately, I'm not super happy with the gameplay. The gameplay is okay-ish, but the level design is really boring for the most part, so that's my biggest issue. But let me just demonstrate, shall we? So, we have to get in here, therefore we have to hack this thing, which involves clicking on this thing and connecting our, well, I don't know, hacking device. I don't know why it says Telnet version 4.0, because Telnet is software, and this thing is hardware, so I'm not sure. Maybe it runs Telnet, I guess. Anyway, so we use this to hack this door. And, well, not door, what's the word? Anyway, to hack this thing, to get in there, hatch. It's a hatch, apparently, because it's called hatch 0, so there we go. And hacking involves pressing the left mouse button, while selecting the right device. Sometimes there are multiple things connected to one data jack. In this case, there aren't. And then left-clicking, and we'll hack it. There we go. We're the world's greatest hacker ever. So we jump in here, and we have to steal something from those vaults. And in order to open them, we have to get to this data jack, which you cannot reach because of this thing over here. So what we have to do is we have to deploy one of our multiple devices. This is the device we just got before this mission. It's called a Weevil. Well, before we do that, we have to actually open this. There we go. Now we can put the Weevil in here, which is basically a little robot. We put it there, and we control it via our deck. Because we have a deck, which is pretty cool. So here's our deck. We place it down here. It's a suitcase with a computer in it, basically. And we need our CCTV over here as well, so we can watch what the robot is doing. It's pretty clunky to set them up correctly, because what we have to do now is we have to use this terminal, which brings us to this weird view. And at the same time, we have to look at this monitor, which means we probably want to replace this. Let's actually leave this, pick this up, and reposition that a little bit. There we go. Okay, I pressed buttons. Okay, so we actually connected to the Viva program already. We could also connect to the Telnet program, which is used to open doors and stuff like that. But right now we connected to we started the Viva program, which allows us to connect to the Viva. So first what we're going to do is we're going to use the find command, and it tells us there's one Viva around called Nell. So now we can connect to it, and it's called Nell, and we connect it to the video screen 1. And there we go. Now we see the camera of this Weaver on the upper monitor. And this is really cool. Like, I like the theme of this. It's a little clunky because of the controls of this deck, because you're not actually going to the monitor, but you're still in this first-person view, kinda, which is a little silly and makes it really hard to set up those monitors. That should be easier. I think the monitor should be somehow, I don't know, locked to the thing and just be an extension of the screen or something. I don't know. That's a little silly to behave, because now we kind of go in this position, well, maybe this position. We have to navigate like this. I don't know. It's cool to control the robot with commands though. So what we're going to do is we move him up. We can't use the help command to see all the commands. We're going to use the go command to move him forward. Let's say, well, 70 probably, something along those lines. And now he starts moving, and you can see him moving. I'm pointing with my finger. That's pretty clever. You can see him moving in the background as well, but we can also see what is going on his monitor. So now we turn 90 degrees. And we can leave the deck and see that he's moving. Actually, let's do the go 120 or something along those lines. Now we can see him moving here, and he's moving this way. So this is pretty cool, like from a theme, like from aesthetics and theme and flair wise. This is pretty cool. But gameplay-wise, this is really boring because there's not much to do, and the controls are fairly clunky. Now the robot got stuck, so I have to turn him a little bit, I guess something, well, maybe 10, yeah, something along those lines. We move another 50 maybe. And there's not much decision making or anything along those lines. Now we're gonna use a data check to, oops, that, is there autocomplete? There's not autocomplete. To connect to the thing, so you can see that the Weaver connected to this data jack. You cannot see it on his monitor because it's out of his cone of vision, but now it's connected, and now we can see what is connected to this data jack. The volt 0, so we're gonna press data jack 0 or use data jack 0 command to open the vault, and that will well, hopefully open it. It doesn't for some reason. What's going on? Usually it just works. Okay, I'm confused now. This worked literally 5 minutes ago. Not sure what's going on. Well, let's just try that again. There we go. That was a bug apparently, I guess. And this is our objective. We got it, and now we have to leave. We could pack up all those things and take them with us, but we don't have to. We can just leave without them. So we hack this thing again because it closed, and then we this is a really weird control as well. You have to press W and space to climb up ledges, which is a little strange. It works for the most part, but it's a little unusual. We'll go back here, and now we're back at the start, and we go to the exit point, and the job is done. Great. And we get a time, 5 minutes. That's not great, but that was because I was explaining things. And yeah, it's basically a time attack game, because the level design and the mechanics are not really about clever execution. Like, it's pretty obvious what to do in most levels, at least so far. I played about 2 hours. And it's pretty straightforward. Like, there are no complicated puzzles or something along those lines, which I expected from a game about hacking and using technical devices and stuff like that. I expected some logical challenge, but there isn't. It's super straightforward. What there is, however, is some executional challenge. So it's not like the challenge is in doing the things smoothly and quickly and getting a good time, which is fairly challenging. But to be honest, the mechanics don't feel great to use for the most part. So, I don't know, I don't really see the appeal here, which is my biggest complaint about the game, because as I said earlier, I love the theme, I love the aesthetics, but the gameplay really doesn't do it for me. It doesn't. I don't know, it bores me to hell, I have to admit. So, that's the first job. It was pretty easy. Let's go to the second job and do that. I forgot I didn't do this for a while, for a few days, so I forgot which one this was, but I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. It wasn't that hard. So let's just do that and show you a little bit more gameplay. So, now we have to go to this. Oh, actually, I should have showed you the map and stuff. So we can press tab, which brings up this menu, which is really cool. Again, theme-wise, this is amazing. So it brings up this menu. Or, well, manual, I guess. I don't know. It's a block, basically. So we use this, and we can scroll here. We don't see shit, so we turn on the lantern. For some reason, like, these little things, like, really give you the game charm. It's really nice, but, yeah, still, it doesn't help me to like the gameplay, unfortunately. So yeah, you can turn on and off the lantern for some reason. So it gives us maps, and actually those maps for the most part are pretty useful, like not in this level. It's not that complicated really, because it doesn't give you the map of the whole thing, just of one of the cards. So yeah, but it's actually, it gives you really simple maps like this one, hand-drawn maps, but they're actually useful. I was surprised by that. That's actually pretty uncommon. And if I see a map in a game, usually if you don't actually have like an icon on the map, you are here or something along those lines, they're not really helpful. But in this case, they are. I cannot really explain why. It probably has something to do with level design. It's just, like the maps felt very useful so far, and I'm very surprised by that because, as mentioned, there's no pointer, you are here, no blinking thingy, go in this direction, whatever. So it also gives you some notes and some help, and it gives you this manual about all your technical equipment with a bunch of stuff here. So that's pretty cool. I like it. So let's press tab again. It tells you, yeah, our mission is in the lower left. Acquire diplomatic pouch in car 1. So let's actually do that. Let's go over here, go to car 1. There we go. And jump over here. Which one was this? Oh, it was this one. Okay, so we have to hack this. There we go. Open the hatch. Now we cannot go in there, but Weevil can. So we throw Weevil in there. He falls flat on his face. We deploy our deck and the CCTV up here. Probably something along those lines. There we go. And we find the Weaver. Connect now to 1. And there's a command that jumps him up. What was it? Is it jump? No, jump is just jumping. Stand. There we go. Okay, he's apparently standing. Good. Okay, so let's turn around a little bit and see where we are. Okay, we have to go over there. Let's just do that again. There we go. And move 50. That's probably not far enough. Let's actually do 100. Well, maybe 50 twice is enough. We have to get to this data check over there, as you can see. That's probably not in range. Now it is. No, it's not. Oh, okay. Turn. There we go. It opened up. So now we can actually data check. We can open the vault and the gate. We're actually going to do both. But let's do the gate first. And then the vault. And then we leave. This is the gate. And the vault opened as well. So we can pick the objective. And now we have to get up there again. And leave. And that's it. And as you can see, the gameplay is super straightforward again. And it's all about executing this fairly quickly. But yeah, I don't see the, as I said, I don't see the appeal here at all, besides the amazing aesthetic and theme, obviously, which is really cool. Oh yeah, I didn't show you, we have a, oh, we don't have it in here. Wait, let's go in there again. Oops, because I didn't show you the portable LP player. It's a portable LP player. It's really, really cool. I don't want to show you the music actually, because it usually is licensed, which gives me trouble when I upload this to YouTube. So I'm not gonna show you the music, but yeah, the theme and aesthetic is great. It's a little weird from time to time. Those characters are a little strange as well. There seems to be a story, but the story is really, really subtle. It doesn't, I don't know, it's really easy to miss on purpose or on accident. You usually get it by reading things like the contract, for example. There we go. Like, you can read this, and that gives you some subtle story about what is going on. Then you have like little interactive cutscenes, which don't really tell you anything as well. They have funny mini games here and there, which is interesting. So there's a lot of detail in this game, but yeah, as I said, the storytelling is very, very subtle as well. So the story is not really dragging you with it if you don't really go looking for it. The controls are clunky for the most part. I feel like it's deliberately clunky. The controls are, yeah, I think that's deliberate for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but it doesn't feel like the game is designed in a way that it feels like it's like, how should I say this? It feels like the designers of this game knew what they're doing in terms of mechanics, and therefore it feels that the decision to make the mechanics kind of clunky, or the controls kind of clunky, is deliberate. I cannot really explain why, because I don't know, but it feels that way. So yeah. Also, technically, like on a technical level, this game is not great. The performances, especially in the intro cutscene or intro level, the performance was terrible. I was dropping pretty low, even with putting all the settings too low and stuff like that. And later on, I have FPS drops as well, and I have a pretty good computer, so that should not happen really. So that's a little strange. Also, yeah, there's an issue with mouse sensitivity. So there is, in the option menu, there is, under controls, a slider for mouse sensitivity. And that works for in-game. But for some reason, this is not true for this menu. So it's really hard to navigate this menu if you have a high DPI on your mouse, because the mouse is super sensitive and it's just ignoring the settings here. In general, I don't know, I had problems with the mouse mainly, but also the resolution stuff. No, the resolution stuff worked, but something screwed me over. I'm not sure what. The controls are, the options are fairly okay though. Like, for the most part, like, there's nothing missing. We have FOV, we have resolution settings, no borderless window, but we have full screen and window mode, and you can turn off on and off various thingies. The player shadows, you should turn those off because they're super buggy. Maybe I can show that. Let me go out there, or maybe they fix it. But yeah, no. Well, it's not necessarily buggy, but since you don't see your body, it's a little strange that you can see your shadow, because yeah, you see the feet of your shadow. That makes no sense. And also the player shadow gets in the way a lot, so you really want to. And like, that's not even where my feet should be, isn't it? Well, kind of, I guess. It looks strange though, and as mentioned, the shadow gets in your way a lot, like this. And so yeah, turning those off is usually a good idea. There also is a mod menu, so it's apparently moddable. I didn't check out any mods so far though. That's the wrong controls, options, advanced options. That's what I wanted to do. Player shadow off. And yeah, there's a bunch of settings though, but even putting them to low will not save the performance. It's running fine on this level though, and in the waiting area. So it seems to be like bigger areas and stuff like that seem to create pretty heavy FPS drops, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, so that's the other caveat of the game. The technical, like, it's not perfect on a technical level, but that's actually the smallest issue I have. As I mentioned, like, let's just sum this up again. I'm kind of repeating myself, but I really want to like this game. I want to love it. I love the theme. I love the aesthetic. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of retro and old school sci-fi and cyberpunk stuff, and having all those fancy thingies over here with some techno bubble devices as well here and there, and in general having a lot of detail in the game, a lot of little things here and there is really, really cool. But unfortunately I cannot dig the gameplay at all. It's really, really boring to me. I want to like it, but there's no, like, it's there, the logical challenge is just not there at all. Like, all the levels were super straightforward so far. I imagine they get maybe a little bit more complex later on, but I cannot bring myself to play that far. So and yeah, the focus seems to be on on completing the levels as quickly as possible. It doesn't seem to have a global leaderboard, just like a friend leaderboard, Steam Friends leaderboard, and like a global average, which you can say, hey, yeah, I'm quicker than the average or something along those lines. But yeah, that's the thing that's missing here as well, I think. But I don't know. So yeah, I don't see this being a good time attack game because it doesn't have cool controls for that. Usually time attack games have like a platformer or something with really fluent controls and really smooth and a lot of depth to the controls. And this doesn't really, like, there's a lot of different things. And yeah, sure, in some levels it's interesting because you have to like chain commands, like open this door for a few seconds and then a few seconds later open the other door so you can go through them really quickly after each other and stuff like that. So you can plan a little bit to speed up your process, but it's not really... It's not doing it for me, at least. Maybe some people can get enjoyment out of this, and I'm sure people who don't focus so much on mechanics and gameplay as I do will have fun with this game because, as mentioned, the aesthetic and the theme is amazing. So I see why people would like this, and it is getting a lot of good reviews on Steam. So I guess that's the reason for that. But unfortunately for me, it's not doing it. So it's called Quadrilateral Cowboy. If you want to try it out for yourself because you say, I don't care for, well, mediocre level design and mechanics, the link is in the description below. It's available on Steam. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I'm TH Pine. Have fun and see you next time.